It's always a pleasure to be joined by yourself.
I do agree profusely. My presence is something to be cherished.
Good, good. Oh, look, whenever you're ready, the stage is yours.
So, hello everyone and welcome back to PSGL F2. Usually it would be your boy Lordy Boy doing the intro, but today it is PSGL F1 driver Little Blocks in the commentary. The PSGL veteran joining another PSGL veteran. Thanks for having me, Lordy-MK.
I wouldn't have it any other way, Edward. It's been an enthralling season so far. Thrills and spills, and we're only on round 3 of a 10-round season. Maybe increased by the end of the season, I've been told by a few whispers in the wind. But yeah, we are here for round 3, which is France, and we've got the likes of Bugatti leading the way in the championship. But Lickle, who do you think is going to be the dark horse tonight?
I don't really know this division, to be honest. I'm going to go, he's not really a dark horse, I'm going to go with Bugatti at the championship leader. He just looks like he's in the best form of his life. So I would think he's going to be unbeatable when he's in front of him. Maybe Black Phoenix will bring him, see maybe a bit of a Mercedes battle like he did hybrid there between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, I do agree. We did have a duel in the desert last time out at Bahrain. It was enthralling to watch the teammates tussle tooth and nail, but ultimately Bugatti did come out the victor that day, and he is looking to increase his championship lead over everybody else in the field. I believe there has been talks as well, Lickle, of the slipstream being banned if you exceed track limits. So if you just want to clarify to everybody what that entails, then that would be lovely.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. I'll read it out directly from Big C statement, the director of PSGL, the lead director. Following discussions with the stewards and more senior drivers, drivers are no longer allowed to cut the chicane to get the teammate/other drivers slipstream. We also felt track limits should be adhered to and respected, as well as it not looking a fast and stream. Cutting the track to get around quickly is also now prohibited. So none of you drivers here better be doing that, or you'll be in the shit office next.
Yeah, I do agree. A bit of a last-ditch effort from the stewards and the admins and directors to really knuckle down on track limits and making the game as fair and as clean as possible, which I do like. It is nice to see. Obviously, in the upper tiers, a tenth of a second means a lot, and if you're getting a boost from slipstream, it does mean that you're going to increase your odds of getting a fastest lap, especially in qualifying. So it's really nice to see the admins and directors cracking down on, I wouldn't say cheating, but giving people unfair advantages, Edward.
I couldn't agree anymore, Lord. Just imagine, would you see that in real life? Would you see Lewis Hamilton going flying across the track at 200 miles an hour, suddenly turning right to go towards the barrier? I don't think so, to be honest. I think we'll be seeing him stick to the track. So the stewards and the directors have come to a fantastic decision to cut out such nonsense of cutting this track.
Yeah, it's absolutely fun. Well, I choke. It's absolutely fantastic. From the likes of Big C up in the room, in the director's room. And I've also been hearing rumours that Greeny LFC, the admin of PSGL F2, not very happy with the decision because he's been struggling immensely round this French circuit. You know, he's the same pace as me, Edward, and I'm 2 divisions below him. And he thinks that the slipstream was going to help him today, but no, it's been shut down. There's been rumours that people have been complaining, and I have to agree with them, but Greeny, not impressed.
Yeah, I think it hinders some drivers, but it favours other drivers. At the end of the day, you've got to follow the rules, and unfortunately, Greeny has been, in his opinion, being shafted. Who knows what it might have also been very impressive pace from you. You couldn't have had the pace to be matching some of these guys in the grid. Could have possibly saw you in the top 10 maybe around here.
Yeah, rolling back some of the years, I think if I was on this grid, top 10 and performance would be absolutely fantastic, but there is a lot of quick talent in this league, and it's nice to see the likes of, Kurax has been, I'm being quite impressed with Kurax actually throughout the season. He's been unlucky in the races, but I've been quite impressed with his overall pace. And also, I have to say, Ollie Flavel doing some very strange strategies, especially at Australia, but really really putting pen to paper and conjuring up some interesting alternate strategies to really throw off his opponents.
Someone I'd say is LR Luke 95. I've seen him up there a few times. I've been watching the stream. Never heard of him before until what was the first round, Bahrain, and he really is gaining into this division. I believe he's had a bit of bad luck as well, but I've seen him up there fighting away for somewhat top positions. I think he might be a bit of a dark horse, going back to the question you did ask me when we first started the stream.
Good, it's always nice to have an extra pair of hands on deck just in case it is needed. We are waiting, I believe, for a few drivers. Maybe we're trying to get some of the reserves in just to make up the numbers, but 20 drivers, no, 18, sorry, because obviously me and Edward are counted in that, so 18 drivers on the grid at the moment, which is very good for the final season on the 2019 game. Hopefully, obviously, the 2020 game has been postponed until further notice. No news as of yet of the new game. I think some people are a bit upset about that, but obviously with coronavirus going around, people have been self-isolating, so make sure that you're staying safe, and I hope all your families are safe as well out there. If anybody has contracted the disease, my heart goes out to you, and I hope everybody is okay. But we are here for one thing and one thing only, and that is racing, and I am getting sick and tired of staring at this main menu, Little.
Yeah, I think people are waiting for you to get into spectator. That might actually be the issue. Someone has lagged out, which is absolutely. Oh, we got. Yeah, there we go. Someone has lagged out, which is utterly impressive, because I've got to be racing and setting up a lobby in 40 minutes. I want to see as much action as I can, but someone has lagged out, ruining my holiday. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a holiday for some. It's not for others, Little, unfortunately. Enjoying the time while you can. If you guys are fortunate enough to get time maybe off school or off college, then I hope you're spending the time as productively as possible. Maybe learning an instrument, maybe just eating takeaways, or I don't know, maybe playing more F1, because that's what we want, more F1 action on this channel. You know, we don't get enough of F1, we just need more. You know, let's start 3 other leagues as well. You know, let's have a league every day, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I think we should have a league for every day. No, I'm joking. But it has been ran very well this season. Obviously, we've had a few complications here and there with other leagues. You know, I think AOR has had a few complications, and One Hub has had a few complications. But PSGL has been staying strong, and I believe we are making a new lobby because the host is inadequate. So sorry for the delay, folks. We will try and keep you entertained as much as possible, but obviously it is going to be a bit dull for the next couple of minutes while everybody gets involved.
Yeah, remember the last time you invited me to comms here, Lordy, at France? We had 3 attempts to start, and I had to go for my race. I'm hoping it's not like that again.
I do agree. I hope we can get in the lobby as fast as possible. Hopefully the admins has spread the link around to everybody involved to make sure that they can spectate ourselves. I'm currently trying to invite you, so there we go. Right, I am in spectator mode. You have been invited, and people are not waiting around on this stream. They want to see action, and we're not getting any. We need action. I want more. But yeah, just going back to last week in Australia, it was a very interesting fixture. A lot of safety cars deployed, if I do remember correctly. As we're going to have a bit of an intermission here while everything just gets sorted, so bear with us if you are still tuned in. We'll get the links and everything sorted on Twitter, and we will also get the links out on Discord. I do believe the admins will be doing that now or very shortly. Obviously the lobbies are playing up, maybe it's the game or maybe it's the lobbies, we're not too sure, but we will get back to you ASAP. I'm just going to finish my tea or dinner or lunch, whatever you'd like to call it. while we have this bit of intermission sort of break, just to get everybody sorted and in.
Ready up.
Yeah, just having a bit of a break, if I can speak, just having a bit of a break, an intermission period, while everybody gets sorted and I can have a bit of a munch on my tea. If you'd like to speak though, then feel free.
I love speaking, you know that, and we're finally getting on the way here. Hallelujah, the Lord is singing here in PSGL F2 over the Paul Ricard circuit. I'll be supporting my boy Alfioli Bugatti 03069 to come and get another W for this season. I want to see him win the championship and hopefully get back up to F1. That's enough of me licking off Bugatti. I'll be trying to be as neutral as possible during this brief time whilst I'm here joining Lordy Boy while he's eating his dinner. My mic is absolutely killing my eardrums, hold up. I'm being told I can be paid, be heard on stream. That is bloody brilliant. Because when I get told in the party I'm too loud. Absolutely useless. It looks like a very dry France. I think we have someone making their debut tonight. ILRT Jordan, team I formerly in, didn't actually meet the fella. He will be in the Haas, partnering the former PSGL F2 champion Leon Bentley 03. Has he got cars coming out the pit lane? It is indeed one of the Haas cars. Oh, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? I can't actually see. I've got no game sound.
Jordan.
Thank you. Here we go. Out on the soft tyres already, going aggressive. Clearly, it is a strategy here. Either medium to soft or soft to medium. Anyone using the hards in the race, I think is a big L. Unless the safety car comes out on the first lap, then maybe is a big fat W for you. But let's watch Jordan go around the track. Apparently, he is a really fast driver. Lord, do you know anything about this guy?
Sorry, just swallowing a bit of duck. But no, just on Jordan, Big C announced earlier in the stream that Jordan would be participating in this F2 race tonight. And it was really nice to see new drivers coming through the ranks. In PSGL, I think he is F1 quality, from what I've been told. So let's see if he would like to progress. That would be fantastic for him, but he's currently at F2 at the moment, and I haven't seen much from this man. So we will just stay on board with him for his first ever PSGL F2 qualifying lap, and it would be nice to see what this man can do. But looks very smooth on his outlap anyway, Edward, really getting the tyres up to optimal temperature. You want to keep them roughly around the 90-degree mark, keep them nice and cool before you start your lap, and then you can really extract the traction throughout the lap, because obviously the tyres will heat up the more aggressive you push. But here he comes, Edward. He will be the first man around the circuit. Would you like to take me through the lap of Paul Ricard?
Love to, Lordy. Anyway, here we go. I love to see Jordan start his lap coming down into turn 1, keeps it in 8th gear, uses overtaking, now down it into fourth gear in fact for turn 1, and up through the gears that might be invalid, might not be, just kept within the track limits. Very aggressive there, and now down into a very tricky turn 3, and he did understeer quite a bit there, so that's going to cost him a bit of time. You really want to be setting about 24.2 his first set, and he sets a 24.3, which is quite strong for a banker. He's doing quite nice. You see it now onto turn 7 and onto the long straight prime overtaking spot through this Paul Ricard track, where we see most of our overtakes in the real life Grand Prix. He's going to be approaching a car park in the final sector when he gets it there, because there's so many cars there. But we won't focus on that, we'll focus on this man now ending sector 2. What's his sector 2 split going to be? It is a 51.7, not too bad from him, Roddy. He is currently on the pace, about a couple tenths off some of the F1 times from what I've seen. And he's looking like a very strong bank for him now. And now this very long turn 11 reminds me of the Suzuka turn 1. And it's a very understeery corner I personally hate on this track, and he seems to have nailed it. No track limit issues, looks very nice from him, very tidy. Now into the penultimate corner, you can use a lot of this inside curve there, doesn't decide to use it, and now into the final corner, and double up shifts out of the final corner, opening DRS, and the time for Jordan is going to be a 1:29.4. Strong banker from him.
Yeah, very nice lap. 29.4, a tenth of a second quicker than me. I will keep mentioning myself. I was very impressed with my own pace here at France, but yeah, tenth of a second quicker than me in Formula F2, and not a very solid lap from the likes of Jordan. So if I say Jordan by mistake, I do apologise. It is Jordan. But we are going to see Bugatti set a 29.6 banker. I think he'd be a bit disappointed in that. I know it is only his first lap around the racetrack, but I think he would like to impress a bit more. As we're going to see Black Phoenix also cross the line and go pole position with the 29.1 back. That's impressive. That is really impressive, Lickle.
Very fast, and Matteo doing there. I saw Dutch tricks off the track at turn 11 through that long right hander. It looks like the rear just gone away from him, and he lost it and was spun around. Had to wait quite a bit of time till cars come up so he get a bit of free space and not have any unsafe rejoins or track and blocking anyone. And illegally takes the pits and almost loses the car. People will be strictly watching these track limits and also the pit entry, Lordy. They're being warned by the league director and should be warned by their league admin as he's retired from the session.
Yeah.
Pit car in the pits is not allowed.
Yeah, I do agree. I do believe Dutch Tricks is one of these drivers who is very under the cusp at the moment. He's very lucky to be having a place in F2, and he needs to stay out of trouble if he wants to remain in this league. He is quick on his day, but he is prone to accidents, so he needs to just keep a nice clean race, stay out of trouble, and really focus on his own performance. But yeah, Dutch Tricks obviously retiring. I do believe did he have a quali ban? I do believe he did. That's probably the reason why he has retired, as LR Lurk goes 6th position with a 30.0. So not very impressive bankers, must be said, Lickle, for the second tier of F1. As Tim is going to cross the line right about now in the racing points, currently 18th with no lap time set. He crosses the line and it was invalid, unfortunately, for that man, so he may go for another one on this old set or used set of soft tyres, but I do believe he'll probably come back in the pits and bang on a nice fresh set. Anybody else out on track that you can see, Lickle?
Not anyone I see starting. Like, there might be a Williams, so no, Boggs just come out of the pit there. I'm just keeping an eye on the map as I'm watching Kurat's currently going off the track. I am watching the track map really on the right hand side to see if anyone is cutting. I see a Red Bull going off, a Red Bull at turn 1. Greeny LFC going off the track.
Greeny LFC going off the track. We'll see what happens. Where is CC Brain? CC Brain has already invalidated his lap. We'll see what happens with Greeny. It does say he is on an out lap, but I do believe he will be helping his teammate CC. CC already has an invalidated lap, so he must be telling Greeny on the radio, no push now, we do not push now, and they'll be waiting for another opportunity to do the slip, as they like to say.
But the problem is, they're trying to do slipstream, but Ushin McGow, Lordy, he's in the way of them trying to do the slipstream. I'm sure he's going to be a thorn in the side. Not a bad lap solution to go P6. You didn't really see him do that. A man who's had very underwhelming pace for most of the week, Lordy, as we've both seen. Pulling out quite a nice banker for his standards and what he's been setting.
Yeah, you're not in this division for no reason. Ushin has proved himself in the lower tiers to promote him or warrant him being in this division, and he's really struggled to maintain his current form. I do believe he's having a bit of a dip in his season, and he does need to step up his game, but I think he knows that. And Francis definitely isn't one of his strongest tracks, but he will give it his absolute best. And let's see what Lucas Greenus can do. The man out on the track, there's 10 minutes remaining, and he's only about to set his first lap, Lickle, so I'm not too sure what's happening there.
It looked like a relatively nice turn 1 and 2 for me. I don't know what you thought. Maybe he was waiting to get slipstream to his teammate. The infamous slipstream linked with Greeny LFC. We both know. It looks decent. It looks nice and tidy for his first sector. And it's a 24-4 from him. It definitely looked a lot quicker. He's gone miles off the track there. And I'll be surprised if that's not an invalidation. If all 4 wheels were blatantly off the track, so I wonder if Codemasters have picked up on that one there.
No, Codemasters have allowed it. Greeny is still pushing. He's been in hot lap the entire lap. Has he backed off? No, he's taking the normal lines. He's keeping well away from the curbs. This man has been struggling all week long. He's been slower than F4 drivers throughout the weekend, as Luke Green has got a lot to prove. He says he can set 28 nines, but we haven't seen it in any of the practice sessions I've been in with him, so maybe a bit of jiggery pokery to confuse his opposition, but the only person he's kidding is himself, unfortunately, and Greeny looks like he's wrestling a hog out there.
I'm just watching Greeny now. It doesn't look like the car is working with him. It looks like there's a lot of understeer in that Red Bull, Lordy. Getting it just about turned in. The tyres are screaming at this point. Just cool me down, cool me down. That's what they're asking for. Because Greeny has put so much aggressive turning into that car. And a 30.5 puts in P12. Disappointing from the man from Farley, I believe it is. Filey, that's it.
Filey's finest, as they like to say, but they won't be screaming his name tonight. But I am going to go on board with the Phoenix brother. SSR Phoenix in the Ferrari, the lovely, beautiful, glistening Ferrari. I do believe he's the number 30 on the front of his car. Just have a look at that. Is that 30? No, it's 50. The number 50 in the Ferrari at the moment, just coming through the middle sector. I do believe he has just cut the chicane though, so he might be invalid, which is very unfortunate for him. It did look quite smooth and impressive, so we will go on board with somebody else who is on a lap at the moment. Anybody further down? Oh wow, Fioli, Bugatti. He's in the final sector. His teammate is currently on pole with one of the most impressive bankers I've ever seen around France. That's very impressive from that man, Black Phoenix. Bugatti at the moment would be behind me in the qualifying standings. I would be P3 at the moment, Lickle. Says a lot, really. Of how close the grid will be in these divisions. Can Alfie make a final push to the line? He's got no ERS left. Did he back off? Oh no, he's gone P2 with a 29.2. So not too bad. not too bad. He's getting there. 0.4 of a second shaved off the lap time, but I do believe in his head he knows he can get that 28, that illustrious 28.
Just watching CC Brain in the Aston Martin Red Bull Racing Lordy as he is starting that one. Man, he hasn't actually set one with 6 minutes 47 to go into turn 1. Very aggressive gears. I've never seen someone go out to third gear for turn 1 Lordy. Very, very aggressive.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm just scanning through the field just to see if anybody else is further on the lap. I know Kurax is. Brandon Govell has already finished his lap. Oshin Miguel is on a lap and he's going to get some right slipstream. Look at this. Is that his teammate? No, it's Bugatti giving Oshin slipstream down the straight. Let's see what's going to... That is beautiful. Look at that, Oshin. Oh, didn't look too clean through the chicane. But Oshin definitely benefiting from Alfie's assistance there. They were in the rules. They didn't cut the track. They didn't cut the chicane. Alfie was in the right to give Oshin slipstream. I know they are very close friends, so they will be, you know, trying to help each other out. Oshin obviously has been struggling, as we've said in previous comments, around this circuit, but looks very smooth and at one with the car. He does need to shift down though to high. He's sticking it. He's in overtake. Is that cool? He's in overtake in the last sector.
Yeah, losing too much earth. He's going to have none to the line now. Look at it. 3, 2, 1. It's out. He's out of ours. Up to the line. It's going to be an improvement. Just about a 10.5 improvement. Decent grade. P13.
Yeah, look at these lap times from the Red Bull boys. Shocking. As we said, people really not hooking it up round France. A lot of these lap times really quite poor for this division. I'm a bit surprised. There's only 5 minutes left, Lickle, and these lap times really aren't reflecting some of the pace that other leagues have had.
I really agree. Someone got to be looking at it at the moment is Steven. A 1 minute 50.2. Right on pace there as he's in the final sector, pushing very hard. Now I'm sure he's just going to slightly improve in that 1 minute 50.2. And no, he does. So currently that 1 minute 50.2 stands for is very competitive at just about within the 107%.
Yeah, I do agree. Skeeven, not really known for consistency when it comes to Formula 1. He's normally either on the pace or off. He's either hit or miss. And people are running out of ERS before there's DRS on the straight, Lickle. So I'm really confused what these drivers have been practicing for the entire week. Where Tim has gone 11th with a 30.0, which, to reiterate that, I believe 3 gloves set a 29.8 in F4 and I set a 29.5 in F4. So at the moment, Lickle, I'd be 4th place.
Buddy, you should be proud of yourself.
I'm not just saying it to big myself up, you know, the likes of 3 gloves would be 8th with a very impressive time in F4. So I don't know what these guys are playing at, but I really want to see some quick lap times. I know it is officially the final run now. You know, Bugatti complaining that he hasn't been in the 28s as often as he would like. He's only hit it a few times when he gets his act together through the lap. But his lap's good enough for 2nd place, look, and I don't think anybody, maybe that Jordan and Kurax, but apart from that I don't think anybody else is getting anywhere near the Mercedes this race.
I do agree, but qualifying is one thing, Lordy, and then the race is another thing. The race, if you don't get out the slipstream, Jordan will be able to just hold on to that. You see how quick, powerful the slipstream was. I done a session with Toxic Tomato yesterday, and he was obviously miles faster than me, but the slipstream was just dragging me along. If those Mercedes don't get out the slipstream, I expect this to be a much more difficult race than what it could be for them. But seeing what you said there, Jordan is only less than a 10th off the gate, which really isn't far. I'd say the top 3 are in a bit of a different league of their own, and you've got Kurax in 4th and 29.6 with 3 tenths off. So I reckon the top 3 is going to be a battle between themselves, unless, of course, there is a safety car involved in it.
I do agree. These guys do need to get out on track, though. I am going to stay on board with... Oh no, Black Phoenix is a bit far. We're going to go on board with 3rd place, man. I know there is drivers currently setting laps beforehand, and there will be drivers setting, but I don't think anyone's going to challenge for pole apart from this man right here in the Haas. He has filled in for an absentee, I do believe, Lickle, and he is proving that he deserves an actual seat in this league. Very impressive performance at the moment from this man, Jordan.
I do agree. I'm just watching Luke's start lap, so they're seeing him now. Turn 1 didn't look as aggressive as it could be. Down in second gear for turn 5, and I don't know what first sector he's going to get a nice, tasty slipstream from Tim Wenting, pulling off an absolute worldie. Look at this slipstream he's going to get. I think he's messed it up. I think he might have just messed up on seat time to perfection. Massive gains, Lordy. 213 miles an hour down the straight, but I think he's absolutely killed himself in the braking, unfortunately, with going a bit too deep, which is unfortunate for him. I just want to see what his sector times are. I'm not getting his sector times.
Who, sorry?
Luke, 24.4, 27.1. So he's actually on the pace. He's on a decent lap at the moment. He's improving his final sector a bit. We could see him up there, Lordy.
Just going to say, Jordan has set the purple first sector. He is the fastest man in the first sector. A 24.2 is what I'm seeing on my screen right now. Here he comes through the chicane. It's so smooth, it's elegant, it's like a black swan. It's beautiful in the Haas, sponsored by Jack Jones, the number 6 man here. He might even get a bit of a tow from the driver ahead. Look at this, Ollie Flannel. Is he going to get in the way though? Ollie Flavel, oh, that's disgusting. Oh, Ollie Flavel. Oh, like a plug in a sink, just ruining the oh, there's traffic everywhere, Lickle. Look at this.
Oh my!
Oh no, that's awful. That is awful. Poor. He was, yeah, he's just tapped Brandon Glover. Yeah. He's actually just hit him round. He's just hit him round. Jordan's just hit Brandon Glover round on the stream.
Oh no. Hey, I'm watching the 2 Red Bulls starting close to each other, Greeny and CC Brain. Thing is, Greeny started so close, but is it going to affect him in the slipstream? I know he's close, but the downforce he's going to lose behind CC Brain. CC makes one little mistake here, Lordy. It could really be over, and it is surely over for Greeny. I thought it was going to be over there. Almost looked like he was going to go well off the track, but I think he just kept it on.
Sorry, I've got to interrupt you. Let's not focus on shit. Let's focus on the people who are going to be on pole position. Black Phoenix is coming around the final couple of corners now. I'm not too sure if he is up on his lap, but it's been very clean and very smooth. Look at the double upshift so early, and he's got ERS to the line. Here comes Black Phoenix. It's a 28.9, and his teammate is looking to beat that right now. He's matching his middle sector. Has he got it perfect? Got on the power early, Alfie. He's got the ERS available. He's running hot lap in the final sector. He knows something that we don't. Is he going to get it turned in? Lovely from Bugatti. Is he going to dethrone his teammate? Not on the power as early as his teammate in the final corner. But Kurax is on pole. Can Bugatti dethrone him? No. Look how close he is at the top of Kurax out of nowhere. This is a fantastic lap. Now on board with the Williams of Ollie Flavel. Definitely a penalty will be coming his way for blocking Jordan on his lap, but it's not about that now, it's about his own lap. Where can he position the Rocket Williams? Here he comes now around the final couple of corners. Ollie Flannel, he keeps it in 4th gear, doesn't opt to go to 3rd, gets it nice and tucked in, a bit of oversteer on the rear, but gets it nice and tuned up for the straight. Ollie Flavel, here we go, P6.
Greeny nowhere, 30.1 from Greeny. He's down in 13th, but CC Brain in 14th. Christian Horner on that pit wall. He's going to be absolutely furious at his drivers. P13 and 14 in qualifying. And I think they will both think that is an underwhelming qualifying performance from the 2 there, Lordy.
I do agree. Let's just reiterate, this man was setting 28s, he claims, in practice sessions. This man was setting 20. He hasn't even got a 29. Lickle, it has been an awful performance from the Red Bulls. They've been rattled, and Christian Horner has got some words to be shared between these drivers, because they are not only starting outside the top 10, but they are starting next to each other, Lickle, so they're going to be compromising each other.
I do agree. It's like having one Pierre Gasly on your team, but no, you have both Pierre Gaslys. Who are you going to sack first to get out of that team? Christian Horner, fuming. I think you should take us through the Griffey Top today, Lordy.
Yeah, we have the surprise of the bunch. Kurax on pole position with Black Phoenix very, very close behind him. Then we have in 3rd place Bugatti. 4th, Jordan, the newcomer. 5th, Ushin Miguel. We haven't even spoke about that. Fantastic lap from Ushin. 6th, Ollie Flavel. 7th, Lurk. 8th, Leon Bentley. Pitmap 9th, and Praga will round off your top 10. Can we just talk about Ushin Miguel for 1 second? That is a fantastic lap time from Ushin. So just you know, he said don't watch him in qualifying. He was very nervous about actually performing in this session, and he's done a bang up job. So if you can hear me, Ushin, well done, mate. That's a great lap. A man who doesn't bottle it under pressure.
My Haribos. He deserves my Haribos. So what a sweet performance that was in qualifying. Brilliant from him. Proud of my funny looking Irishman.
We don't know what that man looks like, unfortunately. But no, look at what Haribo do you like? What's your favourite Haribo?
Tang-fastics.
No, not the bag. I meant like the actual individual, like the egg or the, you know.
the two cherry ones with the green thing at the bottom.
Oh yeah, the cherries. Good.
Or the one that looks like a dummy. That one.
Mm-hmm. Do you like biting on a few cherries, Lickle?
Next question.
Well, Lickle, it's fine. You know, if you can be honest with me and the audience. You know, we're all friends here. But anyway, let's get back to the racing. And yeah, very impressive from Kurax. I did say, didn't I? I said I was very impressed with Kurax as Lickle drops his plate or something all over the floor. But yeah, very, very impressive from Kurax. Fantastic performance from him. Driver of the qualifying session. Driver of the qualifying session. Driver of the session goes to Kurax. That's a fantastic lap. Really, really quick from that man right there in the Ferrari. Let's see if the Ferrari can mount a challenge to the dominant Mercedes. Where have we heard that before, Lickle?
This season with that illegal engine, Lordy, I'm off to have a quick waz on the formation lap, so bear with me. Make sure to wash your hands, lads, even if you do go for one.
Going for a quick waz. And my other commentator is leaking. Because that's what he does. That's what this league does to people. They leak after a bit. But yeah, just going back to that qualifying session while these guys are around the track for the formation lap. Kurax, yeah, standout performer, really impressive, very, very good stuff to get it on pole position by 10th as well, so very, very impressive. Also Black Phoenix up there for impressive lap times, the only two drivers to enter the 28th. It's not an easy feat at all around here, but these two have managed to do it, and it's paid dividends for them. Unfortunately, Black Phoenix will have to start slightly behind Kurax, but if he gets a decent start, could be neck and neck going into turn one. As you can see, the top 10 will all start on the soft compound tyre, which is very fast for about 5 laps, and then you'll see the instant drop off. So you've really got to be careful on these softs because they do overheat very quickly, especially if you're on pad. So if you are on pad and you are racing currently, you are going to struggle more than the wheel runners. Obviously everybody else outside the top 10, apart from Dutch Tricks, will be starting on the alternate medium compound. I shouldn't see anybody on the hard compound this race. If I see you on the hard compound, you will be getting blocked on Twitter. Only unless the safety car comes out on lap 1. But yeah, as I said, we won't be seeing the hard tyre this race. There is a Haas that has invalidated, I think it's Leon Bentley, who's had a collision with somebody and who is on the line. So unfortunately for Leon, he's going to have cold tyres off the start. But it's not long now, just waiting for the last couple of drivers to bunch up, and it's going to be lights out and away we go in just a moment's time. Yellow flags in sector 3, stationary cars all over the place. A bit of a long wait, we've had to wait for this French Grand Prix, but there's 5 red lights here at Paul Ricard. And away we go, and Kurax has had a pretty abysmal start. And look at that, Black Phoenix is already past him, and Jordan's going to have a go on Bugatti, going to turn 1. Here we go, Black Phoenix is your leader. Jordan is going to go sweeping round at the outside, and then the inside for the chicane on Kurax. And Kurax has lost 2 positions in one corner. Kurax is going to fight back, definitely down into the long right, the right-hander into the long left-hander. But Bugatti has also been swamped by that man Jordan. A very impressive start from him, as CC Brain has left the session, as there's carnage down the field. CC Brain has disconnected. That is such a shame. He's already out of the race as Greeny makes up positions in the Red Bull. We're going to go back to the front, see what the progression is like. Black Phoenix already trying to create a gap, but look at this. It's an absolute cluster going down the straight. Slipstream galore for everybody as they're all bunched up together. These long straight separated by just so close, it's like a rainbow. Touch the rainbow, taste the rainbow. I wouldn't be wanting to taste any of these drivers. Unfortunately, I don't swing that way, but look at that camera angle. Just fantastic as we see Toro Rosso fighting for his life with Leon Bentley down there in... It's lower than I think. It's Pit Matt and Leon Bentley P10. As Bugatti sweeps around the inside of Kurak, so I think he's made a mistake, really struggling with these cold tyres. But look at this Jordan guy. Jordan's looking very, very impressive. Takes a wide berth coming in to the final corner, really trying to get the power and traction down. Definitely using all the ERS possible as Black Phoenix sets the fastest lap of the race, but it is only lap 2. So that definitely will not stand for the remainder of this race. But Black Phoenix really struggling out in front. He's really, really trying to wring these soft tyres as much as possible. He is in no ERS, and Jordan's going to dispatch him straight away. Is that smart? That Black Phoenix has let him go, as we're going to see Bugatti maybe make a move on Black Phoenix. No, not close enough yet, but very, very close indeed. I think the top 4 is going to be what to look out for, but Ollie Flavel may cling on in the DRS-ERS slipstream down this track. We are going to see some moves maybe happening into the chicane, but I think Black Phoenix will just stick behind Jordan for now. And as you come into the chicane, everybody separated by 1/10 of a second, it seems. Oh no, Brandon Glover has a 1 second gap back. Pitmat has a 1 second gap back to Brandon Glover as Leon Bentley has spun. They were battling earlier in the race, but we've got to keep on board with the top guys because that's where the action is. Currently, the top 3 look to be escaping everybody else. Kurax, after that very impressive qualifying lap, he has pardon me, he has a third of the sector to go to maintain this gap to Alfie. If he can maintain this gap, he will be in DRS, but if not, all hope will be lost and Alfie will run away into the distance. It won't be on this straight that DRS is enabled, it will be the long straight, so they've got the first sector to try and scamper away from the likes of Kurax, but it's so tightly packed, it's anybody's game as Jordan sets the fastest lap of the race, being the man at the front of the pack, the number 6, leading us through lap number 3, turn 1 and 2, very nice and clean for the top 3, and a few others behind as well, as Praga already has a 3-second penalty. So he will be looking to try and drive a bit cleaner for the remainder of the... Ollie Flavel! Take us through it, Lickle, what's happened there?
I didn't know, I just saw Dutch Tricks and Ollie swapping positions. Looking, Ollie's spinning right round, and that car is not looking good. Already those tyres look screwed. I wonder if there was a collision, maybe Ollie going for an aggressive move, or did he just lose on the rear due to overheating tyres? Oh no, I didn't see it. I imagine the likely outcome, it was a collision, but you just can't be making assumptions like that on maybe someone like Kurax. I honestly don't know. That's what I assume. I'm
not too sure. If he's battling him through there, then it's a bit ambitious from Ollie. But I'm just going back to P12 at the moment, where Tim looks to be having a go on Dutch Tricks. Will he try on the inside here? Dutch, as I said, has been one of these drivers where he's been in the wars more than out of it. So he really does need to be careful if he wants to keep his nose clean, especially around here. There's a lot of overtaking opportunities. But I think as Tim's going to go up the inside here, look at this Lickle. He's going to touch the curb though, and that's definitely an auto spin curb. And he lights the rear tyres up. And look at Pedro. Pedro's on the inside of him now. Look, fantastic driving from these two. Tim will at the inside for the final corner, but it's really, really going to hamper him as Pedro does the switchback, but gets clipped by Skeven. Skeven was up the inside as Black Phoenix is in already for tyres.
Too early. Those mediums are not going to the end. That's end of lap 3. You think mediums are lasting 24 laps? That is a very audacious strategy. You might be gambling on something like a safety car coming up. You can just get an undercut and get past you. But as I said, I think that's a bit aggressive. Without being focused once again to hold up.
He's one of the fastest drivers in the lobby, and he has chosen to pit early. Whether that is a mistake, we will wait and see. We're going to keep on board with the battle down here. It's hotting up, and Greeny is at the forefront of this battle, I do believe, just up the road in P9. The mediums obviously do get a massive undercut here at this race, but Black Phoenix isn't going to get any DRS off anybody, and he isn't going to get any slipstream off anybody. So has he put himself at a disadvantage? Because the soft tyres, they surely won't be damaged that badly already, Lickle.
I'm sorry, I was on the phone, so I didn't actually hear what you said.
The soft tyres, they won't be damaged that badly already to warrant a pit stop.
They are damaged, but you've got to stay out and just bear with it. Like, can't be
Oh,
killing
there's a
that
crash!
early.
Oh, collision! Tim and Dutch Tricks. I told him he's got to give his nose a scheming. And oh, it's a racing point sandwich. Dutch Tricks, the dirtiest driver I've ever seen on this game. This man doesn't know how to stay out of wars. He thinks it's World War III battling out there. It is ridiculous what I am seeing on stream. I told him he's got to keep his nose clean, and every time I see him, he's in the wars, Lickle.
Yeah, the first part looked a bit dodgy, but then to be honest with you, Lordy, Steven just launched it from out of nowhere down the inside, and I think that second part was Steven's fault.
Oh, it's not over! Oh, it's off the track, Lickle! Oh, he's going to spin! This man!
I'm expecting a power drive. Power drive.
Yeah, I think, Lickle, if you just keep an eye on him while I fast forward up the field, just keep a close eye on him, because we have got some lovely battles. Brandon Glover on the medium tyres, the highest running medium runner. He's making a habit of this. Brandon Glover on the alternate strategies. Look at the pace he's got. Down there in P8, he's nearly branched away from Greeny, who struggled all week long, and he's going to have a move on pit map, maybe around the outside. If he can get it done there, that would be very impressive. No ops to wait around, but Ushin Miguel, the trolley train of Paul Ricard.
No, don't do this, don't start cutting corners like that, please. Dodge Tricks, oh, for God's sake, get this man gone, Lord.
Is it bad? Is it bad?
He didn't even attempt to try and make the corners. I'm scared.
Oh, Greeny's round! Greeny's round! Oh, is he going to get... He might come on the track dangerously. Dutch Tricks is that... Oh, no, it's Pedro, sorry. Pedro, the other McLaren, is in Greeny's way. But he lost it on entry, and Luke Green's weekend gets worse. I know it's a Monday, but it's better to say weekend. It just sounds better. But yeah, this Dutch guy needs to be removed immediately. Directors, if you're watching this stream, yeah, get on board. That is rubbish. As Braga is in the pit lane on lap 5 for a set of medium tyres.
That seems alright to us. I think he'll be alright. I'm nervous for the. I've got to set my wheel up in a sec.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, Lickle. You just got to keep your anticipation for what's to come. This is what F2 is all about, anticipation. Let's get a lovely helicopter cam. And as Brandon Glover needs to start clearing these cars, I know it is difficult, but he's looking very quick out there in the mediums. And he really does need to get the progress moving now. He has nobody around him, Lickle, that is in DRS range on the same tyre compound. And he's looking to make a move on pit mat. Here he comes, Lickle. Look at the traction and the speed advantage that he's going to get on pit mat. It's going to be neck and neck, but I think pit mat should just let him go. Or is he going to fight him? Oh no, he's going to keep it to the inside and fight him, but very clean drive. That's how you race. Dutch Tricks, take a leaf out of these drivers' books, because that is how you race wheel to wheel cleanly.
Yeah, I think he took it normally. I think he got caught. Kurax has got half an Alfie. Alfie's struggling, but as I said, I think Dutch Tricks maybe going to try something, but then got caught. You didn't think he'd get caught, maybe. Really, somehow still P9.
Yeah, he lost one position after the spin, but his tyres must be screaming for dear life. It's really not going to help his cause, as Alfie is not going to pit. Okay, that's very interesting from Alfie Ollie, as Kurax will come into the pit lane. Lickle, it is meant to rain middle of the session. I think I forgot to reiterate that to you, as Brandon Glover's all over the back of LR. Brandon Glover could win this race, Lickle. Brandon Glover could win this race.
You could do indeed, Lordy. I'm just going to watch him down the inside. This is going to be my last part of straight 4. I have to go. Will he get through? He won't. I just want to see what my man Brandon Glover can do. Once I was yapping of him in F5, Lordy, a man who was struggling, constantly crap. And now he is being phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. No, if I can actually speak. He has done me proud. So Brandon, if you watch this, you've done your former admin proud. Keep going, my friends.
I think that's why Black Phoenix pitted so early for a set of mediums, because he knew the rain may be coming. Brandon Glover, he's actually one of the nicest guys I've actually ever spoke to in the commentary box. And Ushin Miguel is actually going to give him slipstream down the straight. Oh, nearly an airplane crash. Lurk did seem to move left a bit too much, and he's going to tap Brandon Glover there. So a bit dirty from Lurk, it has to be said, in the racing point. And it's really costing Brandon now. He's lost all that time to Pedro and Greeny.
Yeah, I'm just going to see this. What's going to happen here? This is not going to end well. Oh my god, this is really. Might have been a bit of damage. I'm not sure if I saw a bit of damage. No, he's all fine. Rear ending him, Brad. He's got to go down the inside. Surely, switch it down the inside.
Beautiful, beautiful. If he can get it stopped. Oh, it's not good from the racing point though, Lickle. Not a lot of room given at all. from
I think that
Lurk.
was fine. I think that was fine. And I think that's got to be my last part, Lordy. So thank you for having me. I really did enjoy the opening 7 laps of this race. I've got to set all up and set up the F1 lobby.
Good, it's absolutely fine. Enjoy and good luck as always. We will continue the battle as Brandon Glover is on the inside of. He's got to get it done. Outbreak him. Good, good, good. He can't stick up the inside there. Good, very nice move from Brandon as Lurk is all over the place and he looks to be getting mauled. Luke Green may even have a bite of the cherry as well. Yeah, he's going to stick it. You don't want to put your car there. He's definitely got a warning for that, surely. As who's that? Who's that on the outside? That's Skeevan as Green pays a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. As there's yellow flags in sector 3, as everybody's struggling on these tyres. The conditions are getting worse. Oh, it's Luke's. Oh, massive crash. Oh, Luke's lost the rear. Oh my God, Skeevan's in the wall. Skeevan, where is he? Yep, he's in the wall, and that is the. Oh my, poor old Skeevan. He gets out of the way of everybody else. But as Dutch Tricks gets more penalties, I can't believe what I've just seen on the straight. I can't believe. Look, he's got no grip left in them tyres, and it is shocking from that man right there. Really, really bad. But we're going to carry on with these battles as Ushin is the cork in the bottle. One of my famous saying is Pedro's actually. Oh my God, neck and neck. That is fantastic driving. There's no way. Brandon's Glover's gonna have to back out. Ushin gets squeezed, but he's on the worn softs. He's on the worn softer tyres as Brandon Glover's gonna go on the inside of Pedro. This is fantastic racing. Brilliant to see the racing like this in Formula 2. Now Pedro's gonna have to concede the position because he's gonna be round the outside. The long line really does compromise you as Ushin's really starting to struggle on these soft tyres as Greeny's now going to breeze past the Alfa Romeo. As look at this, Pedro might be getting past Brandon Glover as well. Brandon Glover fighting tooth and nail with everybody. He's been the cleanest driver out on track. It's been brilliant to watch. He's currently in P3 and not too far off the guys ahead. All this battling is really helping the guys ahead as Pedro is going to go down the inside. We're going to look on board from Greeny, but these two have been two of the best drivers I have seen in terms of wheel-to-wheel racing, but it looks very treacherous and slippy out there now. Maybe it's time for the soft runners to gamble for the Inters. They're really going to start losing time now. These guys, Jordan and Bugatti, they're really going to start losing time. They opted to stay out, and it may have been the right call as Kurax is down there in P16. Not just pitting once, pitting twice for the intermediate tyres. So really not having a good performance from what was such an impressive pole. And obviously Black Phoenix is making his way up there in 9th place, but I don't think it's going to warrant any gains really, only unless the softs just give way as Pedro and Brandon Glover are neck and neck once again. Greeny's going to have a sniff at this as well. He keeps putting his nose into positions that are very treacherous. You know, there is an opportunity, but it's a very slim one, so Greeny just has to be careful. He's already had a moment once in this race. He doesn't want another one, especially a clumsy one, so he just needs to, you know, back off, keep behind these guys as Brandon Glover. He might get a penalty for that. I hope he doesn't, because it was very marginal. He's cut the line there, because obviously the conditions are treacherous. So I'm going to stick up for the drivers here, as we see Ushin Miguel in as well. But I think Ushin is following his teammate in, so he's going to be held up an absolute treat, which is a shame for Ushin. As Bugatti stays out on a set of soft, as Jordan also pits as well. We'll see where he filters out. Pitmat will be the man across the line. Will he beat the Haas out? I don't think he will. Praga and Jordan. Yeah, Praga and Jordan going neck and neck, and Praga's round. Praga is round. Dutch Tricks has got another penalty. That man is. Oh, and there's Pitmat off. I think it's intermediates. Yeah, I think the call for Inters was the right time. It does look very treacherous out there for soft runners. As you see, Black Phoenix has unlimited grip. Lurk is Luke Lurk. I don't even know anymore. The man who killed Skeevan on the straight seems to be struggling. So does Tim as well. There's yellow flags in sector 2. Is it Greeny? Yeah, Greeny has spun. As he got damage, he has no front wing. Greeny has lost the plot, and it's a virtual safety car, which is going to benefit himself to slow the pack down. But when you've got no wing and you're on the wrong tyres, you are going to lose a heap of positions. That man is in no man's land. And this is going to help Bugatti as well. I think Bugatti, as Pedro nearly hits the back of Bugatti, as Bugatti really slow. to go around the track. It's very treacherous now. That virtual safety car could have saved Alfie's race. If it stays out just that tad bit longer, he could get an advantage going into the pit lane. Yeah, very neat and tidy from these guys. Everybody should be filing in. Nobody's going to stay out, surely. Yeah, cut the white line. Tim, penalty. Anybody else? Lurk's got a penalty. Maybe cut the white line there from that man. Jordan's already on. I'm just going to keep on board with everybody so we can get the penalties rolling. If we want to see is the virtual safety cars actually helped having. That's how you take the pit entry. Nah, they're on mediums and worn mediums, so I don't blame them for taking it very adventurously. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, that is a cut. Braga, you're in the stewards. Good. I love catching people out on the stream. All these drivers really, you know, really just falling by the wayside. As Brandon Glover and Pedro are 3rd and 4th respectively, and Bugatti I think has pulled the gap to Jordan. That VSC really coming in clutch for Bugatti around here, but he's not the quickest in the wet weather conditions, must be said, so I think he may struggle round the French circuit. It is meant to get drier as the race progresses on, so it might be a short stint on the intermediates from these guys as Brandon Glover's struggling, but Tim is really struggling. I think that's Ushin Miguel. Yeah, that is Ushin Miguel. Ushin Miguel. Nearly losing the rear, but doing a solid job in 7th. Right, so I can have a bit of a breather. We'll stay on board with these guys as they're going around the track, just to see where they will end up. Oh, sorry, just having a bit of a breather for myself at the moment. Really just trying to gather my thoughts and seeing where people position themselves. I will have a bit of an intermission actually, because my throat is actually going quite badly after the hectic dry stint. We will stay on board with this battle. It is the closest battle on track by a long shot, so if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen here. Brandon Glover not having bad pace on the intermediates, but I think needs to get a shift on now. But Pedigree's really going to shine through as Bugatti looks to be matching Jordan at the front. So if both Jordan makes a mistake or Bugatti makes a mistake, that is it, I think, folks, for the race win. We will, I think, see another round of pit stops later in the race, but it may be too late. So let's just see where people filter out. I will be back in uno momento, but I will leave you with these 3 drivers because Black Phoenix is looking very tasty at the moment as well. Lower, lower. Sorry about that. Bit of a long intermission. Just had to sort something out. As we come back and Black Phoenix has dispatched Tim, and I think Tim's actually lost a few positions. Or was it Lurk that lost a few positions? I'm not too sure. Well, whoever was on board, it was definitely one of the racing points, has lost a fair amount of pace and positions and time. So I'm not too sure who it was, but there you have it. Nothing ready to report. At the moment, the wet weather conditions on this game are tricky, which is no surprise, but also a bit boring on this game. So yeah, it's more about focusing on your own race rather than people around you. And there's not a lot of wet weather specialists around anymore in F1, but you see the odd few sometimes. Bugatti and Jordan, the gap is still the same. Pedro seems to have decent pace, but not quick enough to keep with the front runners. But if anybody makes a mistake, he will be right there. But I think the closest battle on track will be Tim, Lukey Lurk. I say Lurk, but I know there's no R. I say Lurk, but I think it might be Luke. But who cares? We know him as this man right here, and he's doing a decent job. Had a very questionable incident, which I do believe he will be getting a penalty for, wiping out Stephen. Unintentionally, he did look like he just lost the rear, unfortunately. So nothing he could have done really, but obviously poor old Stephen. As Greeny is P9, so just average really from Greeny. He made up a few positions, but you would expect that considering he started on the mediums, which has obviously benefited him not having to pit before the intermediate stint. Is anybody going to make a move? Oshin's pace doesn't look bad at all. I just think Tim's that close, he's getting the slipstream, and well, when with slipstream comes, you know, a lot of speed down the straight. Now, Oshin does look quite stable, even though you got to stay off that curb, that inside curb. Sorry to interrupt myself, but you got to stay off that curb, or else you will be around. If you accelerate on that, it's an auto spin curb, so you got to be careful. But yeah, Oshin's not driving bad. His pace is decent. He just needs to keep his head down, make sure he doesn't get any penalties, and he should be on for another handful of points. Wishing his 10th, I believe, in the standings, so doing a bang-up job. In F2, I've been a bit in the shadows, not really been up there, but yeah, I think he's enjoying himself out there in the wet. We're just going to stay on board with these 3. It's nearly 4. Greeny's going to join the battle. But not a lot of overtaking is going to be done, because obviously Oshin's just going to save the ERS the same as everybody else, and obviously he's going to have better exits compared to everybody else, because he's going to be on the power the earliest, because he is the first man out onto the straight. So if he just bangs that into hot lap or overtake, he's just going to maintain his ERS quite well. Yeah, look, there's not really anything Tim can do apart from just sit behind and wait. See if Oshin makes a mistake. He's going to have nice momentum through there, is she? Good, good, very nice. As Tim has a bit of a twitch going through there. As Greeny looks like he's had a moment, because he was right behind him. Now he is a few tenths more behind them, as Raikkonen looks to be closing the gap as well to these guys. As Kurax gets past CC Brain, who looks to be having a miserable afternoon down there in 18. But yeah, a bit stale Dale at the moment, as we will go on board with Black Phoenix. It looks like he's going to have a lovely bite at Brandon Glover, who's doing solid, very, very solid. Sorry, just checking Twitter while these cars go around. Obviously the race was very hyper earlier on, but as we've progressed, it's nullified itself a bit with the wet weather. It's really really dimmed out, and I hope it does dry up by the end of the race, because I don't really fancy watching these guys just single file go around a track. If I wanted to watch that, I'd watch myself go around a track in TT. This Black Phoenix isn't going to make a move, but he's trying to. He's got no ARS at all. Trying to get past Brandon Glover. He's going to have no ARS on the exit. Brandon, very good in the traction zones. Really nice to see. As Jordan actually picks up a 3-second penalty in the wet. So Jordan under threat now. It's all in Bugatti's hands. He just needs to keep it nice and clean and he should be fine. Will Ushin be under pressure? I don't think he will, but went it clearly on a wheel as the ERS shifts from 0 to 4 to 5 to 1 to 2 to 3 very quickly on the dash. Ushin maintains 6th place, and if he stays here he will keep the 6th place, so he's just got to keep going until the end of the race. And I think it would be an ideal strategy to stay out on the intermediates until the end of the race. I imagine some people will be doing 2 stops, as Kurax has pulled a 5-second gap on CC Brain already. So CC Brain really having a torrid time. Kurax is far off everybody as well, but yeah, not very good unfortunately for that man. Just keeping on board. Black Phoenix still behind. No movement either from 6th down to 10th. As Ushin really does need to start, you know, pushing, because these guys are getting ever closer, and the closer they get to you, the better opportunity they are going to have to overtake you. The rain doesn't look like it's slowing down on the stream. The wet weather really playing its part in these races, as I think Tim might actually have a go at Ushin. Ushin needs to defend this. If he wants that 6th place, he needs to defend it. Is he going to let him have that inside? He is. As Tim's going to obviously understeer into Ushin, which is not going to help himself. And then he's going to, yeah. It was bound to happen, and Tim is now all over the place. You do not want to be on that stuff on the outside. And here comes his teammate. Very good driving from Ushin. Very fair. Very fair driving from Ushin, and kept to his racing line. Gave him plenty of room, and there was just nowhere to go on these inters. You know, you've got no grip anyway, so you're not really going to be challenging around the outside of a few corners. And as soon as you get on that paint, obviously he is on a wheel, so managed to get the car rotated quite nicely to counter steer. But normally you'd see a lot of spinners there, so very good save from Tim. You know, but Ushin now as Lukey Luke. He's lurking. Look at him, he's lurking. Looks to be keeping his teammate in. Oh, do you have yellow flags in sector 3? That is Dutch Tricks, I believe. Yeah, Dutch Tricks doing donuts. Get this man out. Yeah, Big C, if you're watching, or AMS or any of it. He's going to come back on the track and hit CC. Oh my god. Oh, CC's actually not in the race. But Dutch Tricks, yeah, will be removed. Shocking driving. As the gap has come down, as I've actually missed Brandon Glover and Black Phoenix. It was inevitable anyway. It looks like it was just done on the straight. So very nice from Black Phoenix, but it might be Brandon Glover's turn to repay the favour. He's looking quick in that Alfa Romeo, so let's see what he can do as Dutch Tricks retires from the race, finally. What an idiot that man, and he's brought out a safety car. That is awful. That man is awful. He's impacted the race. Let me just quickly. It will be a safety car, and I imagine everybody will be filing into the pit lane. Oh no, Bugatti's going to stay out. And Jordan is going on to the softs. That's brave. As Black Phoenix, I think, will be thanking the gods that he has been gifted here. So Jordan is out, and he's pitted for a set of softs. Pip Matt has pitted for a set of wets. Now that is interesting. That is very interesting. So Pip Matt has. Okay, that could pay dividends for Pip Matt. I don't disagree with the option for the wets. People were struggling very, very hard out there on the inters. Whether it is full wet conditions, I'm not too sure. I doubt. But it's nice to see someone who's out of the points, must be said. Not far out of the points, but trying something different. I don't think it is. He does look like he's sliding all over the place. But I think he's doing a better job than Jordan at the moment, who I don't think can even catch the safety car. Because obviously it's just not ready yet for tries. As that man has not just left the session, hopefully has left the league. Jordan has realised his error and will now be going into the pit lane again for a set of intermediates, so I presume, as Bugatti maintains the lead with Pedro second and Brandon Glover is out in third again. This man pushing Miguel up to fifth, as Tim actually did get past him, but Ushin up to fifth, very good. The Racing Point boys and Alpha looking to score huge points, as Jordan will exit the pit lane in front of Pip Matt or behind. Oh no, Pip Matt has opted out of the wet tyres. It was worth the gamble, I guess. You know, if he would have pulled it off, he would have gone to first. Well, obviously it's not worked and he's lost a few positions for his troubles. Jordan will come out in 10th, which he's kind of ruined his own race there. He was already in a great position. I think the smartest thing to do would be to just follow everybody else, but decided to be the catalyst, and being the catalyst isn't always the best idea, especially when the conditions are so treacherous. As we will run you through how many pit stops people have had. The top 7 have all done a one stop, from the softs or the mediums to the intermediate tyres. And then we have Black Phoenix, who's done 3 pit stops, from softs to mediums to inters. I do believe we've got Greeny there in 9th, who's done one less pit stop but had a massive crash earlier in the race, who is somehow still in the points. We've got Jordan, who has bottled it immensely on a fresh set of rubber, it must be said, but he's in 10th, and there's a lot of bodies to get past in these wet weather conditions, so he will be up against it at the moment. Ollie Clavel also with 3 stops, Kurax with 3 stops. That man making a fabulous recovery from what has been one of the worst pole defences I've ever seen. Unfortunately, it was a fantastic lap, but he's pulling it back. He's nearly back in the points, and that's what you want: determination and commitment. And then we've got the likes of Pip Matt, who's made 4 pit stops and hopefully will catch the safety car, because I believe it is staying out for an extra lap. And CC Brain has left the session, as we will go on board with the guys at the front, as the safety car will stay out for 1 extra lap. Let's see, everybody should be on intermediate tyres. They are, and look at the positions gained. And that man Pedro has to be one of the drivers of the day, as Kurax is in the pit lane. I'm not too sure why, but he is in the pit lane, maybe to serve a penalty. All that hard work I said he did has now been taken away. I think he only will lose 2 positions. I don't think Leon will catch him. Oh no, Leon has, and Pip Matt has as well. CC Brain obviously not in the race, but he is still registered, unfortunately. But here you have it, your championship leader. That man Bugatti is leading the way once again, and it's going to be a lovely finish. as a safety car should be in this lap, as Kurax is actually behind CC. So Kurax unfortunately can't get past CC, and obviously CC's not going fast enough to warrant him getting past. But anyway, we will start from the top of the grid. Let's go back to the tyres just to see the longevity that people have been going on these. Black Phoenix and Greeny look in the best positions at the moment. Greeny has had a not really very good race so far, but he's done a solid job to recover that, as Bugatti will get us underway for the restart of the French Grand Prix. There's no position changes yet, obviously difficult conditions warranting, as Brandon Glover is actually going side by side. I think he's had a bit of a terrible exit coming out of the first sector, as when, oh my god, Tim has had to save that car so many times as he's actually been just gently nudged by Ushin there, as Ushin is now getting dove up the inside by Lurky Luke, as Ushin is going to be on the inside, and yep, that is Lurk out of the race. Yeah, goodbye. Karma is a B, unfortunately, as Ushin is going to be under attack from Raikkonen and Black Phoenix, it seems, as Raikkonen will get the inside line but gets cropped completely by Ushin. Black Phoenix avoids that, but it's a chain reaction of cars, as Greeny gets caught up with that, and also Jordan gets caught up with that as well. I believe Ollie Clavel just survives. Really trying to see where the action is. There's so much action out on track, it's getting a bit hectic out there again in F2, and all the while Pedro and Bagay running away with it up front. Really getting to see the battles, as Greeny, I think, he's trying to stick his nose in a place that you don't want to again. Look at it, it's like a dinner queue at a primary school, neck and neck, as Jordan is hounding Greeny to get past. Remember, Jordan, he is the admin, but look at it, look at that, that is how you do it. That is brilliant. That is fantastic racing from that man. Is he going to get the traction required? He is going to get the traction. He's going to fight Greeny down to turn 1. I imagine he'll want to switch to the inside for the better traction, and oh, he's just hit Greeny off. Greeny has had to cut the track, and will rejoin, hopefully without a penalty, and Jordan will give him the place back. Greeny won't be very happy with that, but he did give him the place back on track, and racing will be resumed. As Jordan has given Greeny some room, as well as Ushin is under attack from Raikkonen. So Raikkonen down the inside, he's learnt from that, yeah, he spun himself. Raikkonen spun himself on the side pod of Ushin Miguel. A bit silly from Raikkonen there. And unfortunately it's cost him time. Brandon Glover and Black Phoenix at it again, fighting tooth and nail as always. These two can't get enough of each other, kissing and cuddling all the way around the French circuit of Paul Ricard. Brandon Glover seems to be losing out every time they do start getting close, but Brandon Glover doing one of the best jobs I've seen in a long time. But Black Phoenix is on them fresh rubber and is looking very, very feisty indeed. Will he catch the front runners? We're not too sure. He is on intermediates that are very, very fresh. But when Tim Tick is in the way, as people are pitting, is that just Greeny? As Jordan nearly loses it. I think Greeny is in the pit lane, yep. Greeny will be out of this race, I do believe. Pitting for Dries. The only driver to do so. He was in the points and was guaranteed to score a few. But Greeny has forfeited that opportunity and decided to gamble to go for the Dries, which I don't believe he will get the maximum out of, as Ushin now has Jordan, one of the best drivers I've seen in a long time, right on his chuff. So really needs to get a move on, as Praga and Raikkonen are battling hammer and tongue, as Praga gets completely rinsed off the track by Raikkonen, as I'm going to have to go on board with this guy's Praga's off the track. Oh my god, Ollie Favel's off the track. Raikkonen's nearly lost it down the straight. Oh my god, Ollie Favel is getting squeezed by Raikkonen. Look at this, Pit Matt's just going to overtake him. Oh, go on Pit Matt. 3 in a bed, 3 in a bed, 3 in a bed. Oh, Raikkonen's down the inside. Oh, it's, oh my jeez, oh my god. I don't know what to say. It is like a car park. It's a car park at the French Grand Prix. Pit Matt gets a lovely exit but isn't going to capitalise. Ollie Flavel. Oh my god, Progress nearly swiped Pit Matt off the track. Pit Matt's going to go around the outside. There's no way he's staying on the track. There, does come back on the track but has no traction whatsoever. Raikkonen somehow has gained positions at the scuffle as he's gone massively wide. He's going to make it 3 abreast. He goes back on track. Oh my god. He's nearly swiped the wings of 2 drivers. Not just 1, 2 drivers at the end. How many times, Pep? Twice. Twice. Pep Guardiola screaming at the likes of Raikkonen as there are position changes all over the place as people are diving into the pit lane. Oh my god. Kurax is just completely muggly on Bentley. Oh, that's fantastic into the pit lane. Very legal. Everybody in the pit lane apart from Bugatti, who will maintain the lead of this race. And that could be the strategy of the century. He's got 2.5 laps to maintain the gap. I think that's smart. I think that's really, really smart from Bugatti. I honestly think that is the smartest strategy he's ever done in his career. Let's see where Greeny goes. Greeny timed it to perfection, and Greeny is now in a podium position. Luke Green, everybody, has done the gamble of the century, and that man has done a masterstroke. Fantastic from Luke Green. He has dumbfounded the entire field, but he's got 22 seconds to Bugatti up the road. Will he gain? He will gain roughly 5 seconds per lap, maybe even 7 seconds per lap. He needs at least 10 seconds per lap to catch Bugatti. I don't think it's coming down. Bugatti could get swamped here, but he is nearly round the racetrack on the intermediate tyres. Has Bugatti guaranteed himself the win, or is he taking an unnecessary risk? As Pedro looks to be guaranteed P2 out there in the McLaren. He is catching Bugatti at a rapid rate, so I think Bugatti will maintain a podium. If his tyres do last, which I think they will, he will maintain a podium. But if Bugatti pulls this off, it's actually going to be fantastic. As Black Phoenix is right on the back of somebody here, it's Skeven. Black Phoenix has been up and down the grid like a yo-yo, and I'm not really sure where he's going to finish. He's had really good pace, but just not got his act together when it comes to the strategy. Obviously, these drivers in the transition period from inters to dries, so they are going to be feeling around the track for a lack of grip. And I think Bugatti may have done a boo-boo here. Where is he? Is he on the long straight yet? No, he's not on the long straight yet. It's going to be nip and tuck. I think he will get passed by Pedro on the last lap, as Greeny is going to be swamped into turn 1. Yeah, very easy from Jordan. Jordan will get past Greeny, and that is Greeny's podium. Gone up in flames. But you know who is still out on track, doing a fantastic job? Brandon Glover. This man has impressed me immensely this season in F2. He's such a lovely guy as well. Can I just say, he's a really nice guy. But yeah, Brandon Glover has been criticised before as Greeny goes massively wide, but he's putting in a performance of a lifetime at the moment, and I think, yeah, Bugatti has blundered it. He will lose the lead. I cannot see him keeping the lead from Pedro. I think Bugatti has unfortunately made a massive mistake, and he's got to drive the wheels off this thing to keep the podium now. I think he may even lose the podium because these guys are coming at a very quick rate. Hopefully penalties might influence Bugatti's positioning, but he's got to have the last lap of a lifetime if he wants to keep a podium, which is very unfortunate because he has driven a very solid race. But yeah, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. As Pedro, I think, has already got past him. Yeah, Bugatti has lost so much time and has actually got a puncture. So Bugatti's race is over. And yeah, I think that is pure frustration right there, as Greeny has been promoted into the podium positions. And now Skeven is going to start passing Brandon Glover. So I don't know where Brandon Glover has lost time, but Greeny is on for a Idiot. Skeven, just wait for the straight, mate. Bottle job himself, Skeven, making himself look really stupid out there on track, as it is now a one-way fight between Pedro and Jordan. Jordan has no ERS left, and I think Pedro has this in the bag, and I can't believe it. Pedro has had the race of a lifetime, and just wow. I think is the statement of the of the session for Pedro. Just going on board with stops. Just look at that. He's had 2 pit stops, the least of any driver out there. A couple of them have also had 2 stops, but he's had the least. And look how many positions this man's gained. When we move away from the clouds, I believe that says 15. But yeah, 15 positions that man has gained. But yeah, Luke Green as well. Man, he's gained 10 positions. This race has been chopping and changing for weeks and weeks on end. But Pedro is your victor here in France in the McLaren. Fantastic performance from Pedro. Greeny finishes on the podium but drops to 7th. And Brandon Glover by 0.003 of a second. No, 0.03 of a second. Has got another podium. This man just cannot stop scoring podiums. Wow, I cannot believe it. I'm gonna sneeze, so I'll be back in a sec. Well, yeah, we will get these drivers in and see what they got to say. And there you have it, folks. Your top 3 for the French Grand Prix around Paul Ricard. It's fantastic to experience that. And we have one driver in at the moment. We have Pedro with us at the moment. We'll just bear with for 1 second while we try and add everybody else. Just make sure your voice is shared, Pedro, so everybody can hear her. Good. We will invite the new guy, Jordan, and Brandon Glover also, who claimed 3rd spot, and not for the first time in his F2 career. I think we'll kickstart things early, actually. Congratulations, Pedro, is in order. Really nice race. From 16th on the grid, I believe it was, to the finish P1. Just tell everybody how you're feeling.
Well, I'm feeling great. This is the first race that I finished here. It's my 3rd race in this league. It's an incredible feeling to win. It's a really competitive league. There are a lot of fast guys, and I think I just nailed the strategy and got the car, keep the car on the track, and I won the race. So fantastic.
Yeah, as you can hear, folks, he's really ecstatic. I just want to talk to you about the strategy, Pedro. You knew it was going to be wet in the middle of the race. You knew it was going to dry up by the end. Was there a strategy in place to start on the mediums in qualifying, or did you just mess up your qualifying and had the mediums on?
I am really slow on the soft tires because I struggle a lot with overheating. So I knew I couldn't, if I wanted to do something in this race, I couldn't start on the soft. So I was trying just to get outside of the top 10 to start on the mediums. But I validated all my laps, so I got way behind in P16. And then with rain coming in lap 10, I was gonna kill all the soft runners, which really helped me in the end. So it was nice to have the rain in that moment, exactly.
Yeah, it was a fantastic strategy. We will come back to you in the end. I just want to speak to third place, man. You keep coming back. Don't you? You keep coming back. You keep proving your haters wrong, don't you, Brandon? Another podium for you. Well done, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, it's brilliant. 2 out of 3. Yeah, it's brilliant. I think the one in Bahrain was very lucky, but I think this one I drove well, especially in the wet. I had decent pace.
Yeah, just describe to us, to everybody out there as well, just how tricky was it to transition from dry to wet, then back from wet to dry? How difficult was it to keep the car under control? Because obviously your setup would have been built for, I imagine, the wet conditions. So you've already got a compromise straight line speed for the downforce. So how did you cope with the transitions?
Well, I had a full drive setup on, and yeah, it was difficult, especially after that safety car, because the tyres were really warm. And as it got drier, the grip went. It was hard to keep it on the road. A few people got past me. And, yeah, it was difficult on the transition. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really entertaining to watch. Obviously, the safety car was brought out by Dutch Tricks, actually cutting lots of corners and then ending himself in the race. So a bit unfortunate how the safety car actually did come out. But this did make the race a bit more interesting. Was there a strategy in mind, Brandon? Or was it just play it by ear as you were just racing round?
Well, when I saw the rain come out, I knew starting on mediums, go to the rain. It was going to try to put the end so soft, so yeah, I had a strategy in mind. But obviously the safety car sort of threw it out the window, and I was tempted to come in the pits, but I decided to stay out. It helped me in the end.
Well, it's nice to see you back once again, proving people wrong. Congratulations on a 3rd place. We will have the final word from Pedro. Next is Canada. I do believe in a week's time. So what is your opinions on Canada, Pedro? Is it a track you like or not so much?
I really like the layout, but I'm really bad at it. It's hard to describe. I'm just really bad at it, but I love the track. So I will do what I can. Hopefully I can score some points to keep up a good streak.
Yeah, well, I hope to see you both back here next week at 7 PM PSGL F2. It's been your boy Lordy, and congratulations once again to these two guys, Pedro and Brandon Glover, and also Jordan on his debut, a podium on his debut. Fantastic result from him. But yeah, it's been Lordy. Take care. See you next week.